it's Inspiring Vanessa here, and welcome back to another amazing interview for all of you. I am very excited for today's guest. Before I do bring her on to this interview, I hope you're all staying safe, staying positive, and trying to maintain a positive mindset, trying to be productive. I think I've had a pretty productive day today. Thank you. I think I've had a very productive day today. I've edited a video. Probably about it. So maybe not as productive as I thought it would be, but I'm still using my time wisely, which I hope that you are doing as well. But on to today's guest for today's interview is the lovely Imogen, and she is best known, or she plays the role as Mary Lou in Malory Towers, and Mary Lou is a lovely character. So I'm very excited to be hearing about how she obviously got into character for Mary Lou, and just to give some of her advice on how to start up in the acting industry. So I'm going to bring her onto this interview, and then we can get straight into it.
Hi.
Hi,
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Doing
What
good,
have you been up to
thank you.
recently?
Yeah, so I've been doing a lot of schoolwork, which is annoying, but I finished this week, which is good. But yeah, I've been playing a lot of table tennis with my dad. How about you?
Well, I'm not a sporty person, so I haven't really been doing any sporty
Yeah,
stuff or athletic things. But I have been watching a lot of Netflix, a lot
me
of
too.
TV shows,
Yeah.
a lot of movies. It's becoming my new guilty pleasure, and I don't think I'm very proud of it. But you can say that I've been pretty productive. But schoolwork hasn't really been that busy for the last couple of weeks for me. I don't know if it's the same for you. Maybe the teacher's just getting a bit lazy now that it's becoming
Yeah.
summer holidays soon.
Yeah, to be fair though, we've had a lot of summer projects and films to watch, and so it's kind of laid back a bit, but yeah.
I mean, I wish I could just watch a film to complete a lesson. I need to write notes from the slideshow and things like that. But
Yeah.
hopefully this next 2 weeks will go by, and then we can just kind of relax and enjoy our own summer holidays basically. But
Definitely.
it is fantastic to have you here as my guest for today. So the first question I have for you to start off this interview is, when did you realise you had a passion for acting?
Oh my goodness. So, ever since I was little, I've always loved to perform, and there'll be photos of me on stage and I'm just absolutely loving it. I would just always gravitate towards that, and I got into a drama group on the weekends, which I really enjoyed. And yeah, just looking up to such amazing actresses, on stage and in films, that was just amazing. And I was like, wow, I would love to be able to do that. So yeah, since I don't know, 5 years old. Yeah, so long time.
Oh, that's amazing. I mean, maybe you can share some of the photos of a throwback Thursday. We would love to kind of see young Imogen in action when you were younger on stage. That is great to hear. Obviously, passion can come from a very small period of time. Then it can also be a very long time that you kind of passionate about it, and you knew that that's something you wanted to do as well. So that is amazing to hear. The next question is, how do you get into character? Not necessarily for Mary Lou, but you can mention that as well. But how do you get into character maybe when you're auditioning for a role that may be slightly opposite to your personality and who you are as an individual?
Okay, that's a good question. For Mary Lou, actually, it was hard because obviously she is a very different, she has different personality traits to me. But the directors actually really helped. They would go through before the scene and say, what's happening and how the characters are feeling, and they'd let us explore how our characters were feeling as well, which really helped to get into it rather than just being told how to act and okay, you're sad now. Okay, so this has happened. How do you think, she'll be acting? So I guess I kind of, well, this is my first professional job, so to be fair, I haven't done much before. But previously, yeah, just really detaching yourself from the role and thinking, this isn't me anymore. These are new lines. I can do whatever I want with them. Thinking of, what would happen in the past for them, and yeah.
I mean, that is amazing advice. Thank you for sharing that as well. And it's really like, well, if I would react in this situation, how would I act? But you don't really need to think about that. You need to think about how the character would be acting as well. And it's great to hear, obviously, the directors are helping you and supporting you, and obviously becoming that character and actually like becoming that role, which is great to hear, and playing that out accurately, you can say, and how think about like their characteristics and their physicalities and how they actually would react in a certain situation compared to how you would as a person. So that is lovely to hear. The next question is, what has been your favourite memory of being on set on Malory Towers?
So with working with the girls and such an amazing crew, we made so many amazing memories on set. But one of them that really, jumps out to me is the very last day in Canada, when we were filming our last scene, and then it was a massive celebration and we were all crying, and yeah, that was an amazing memory. It was very bittersweet because it was coming to an end, but yeah, it was amazing to celebrate everything we'd achieved and all wrap it off. So yeah.
I mean, just kind of, obviously I can imagine that you guys have made like this super strong friendship, obviously over the time you were filming as well, just kind of getting to know each other as well. So like even when I was leaving school for like quarantine, let's say, I didn't even know I was actually going on lockdown. I thought I'd be back for next week, but obviously that didn't happen because I'm still stuck at home.
Yeah.
But it's kind of similar. It's like when you leave primary school, you kind of leave some of your friends, and obviously you don't know who you're going to meet in secondary. I feel like it's very similar to that, and just thinking, well, we're probably going to see each other again, but we just don't really know at what specific time exactly. So that is a lovely memory, very bittersweet, as you said.
Yeah.
Now there are many Malory Towers characters. So we obviously have the girls, then we just have like the teachers, like for example, or you have Matron as well, very fun character. So you have all the characters. So out of all the Malory Towers characters, who do you think you are most similar to?
I think out of the girls, I'd probably say actually Daryl, just because of her bubbly personality and how she gets on with everyone. Well, I hope I do, I don't know. But yeah, and maybe Irene, because she's quite clumsy and she enjoys music. Maybe even like Miss Potts a little bit, I don't know. She just seems very grounded, very wise, and yeah, I can just see elements of myself in her, I guess. But yeah.
I mean, Miss Potts is a great kind of leader and role model in the show. You don't really see that many times, just like a very predominant female character just kind of being in charge of everyone. Usually it's mainly played by, or it is male characters or male actors obviously portraying that role. So it's great to obviously have Miss Potts on the show, just kind of influencing the girls as well. So I think she's definitely a grounded person, and she's obviously helping out everyone, and she is very wise as well. So that's a great character to kind of be similar to and resonate with, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah, Irene as well, very clumsy. I'm like the clumsiest person ever. Oh my gosh.
I know, me too. Oh, me too.
I mean, like every single time I go to a shop or in a restaurant and I just kind of have a glass, I probably end up knocking it over with my elbow.
And then it's so
like 99.9%.
Yeah, I completely agree.
And then everybody just kind of stares at you, and I'm like, well, I'm sorry, there's nothing I can really do. I can't really go back in time and reverse it or move my elbow in the right way. But yeah, I'm definitely a clumsy person.
Yeah.
On to the next question, which is more based around Mary Lou and the character that you play. Now that everybody who has been watching it or watching the episodes on CBBC, they've obviously watched the last episode, so they kind of know Mary Lou's character development in a way, you can say, just kind of minor. And she can be very shy sometimes, we know that. And that sometimes she doesn't stand up for herself, especially. So what advice would you give to Mary Lou to stand up for herself and become more confident? Because that's something that we can all kind of take from for ourselves as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously not in her definite character trait. I mean, she's always going to be a shy girl. But I think just tell her it's okay. You know, you're going to get braver and braver as you grow up. Just go for things, you know, put yourself out there, do that, you know, jump in to save Daryl. Like, you've got that in you, and it will come out. And yeah, just trust that it will, you know, it will build as you get older.
I mean, I hope that maybe in the future we'll see Mary Lou kind of grow her confidence a bit and kind of see her flourish into this kind of, not social butterfly, but just kind of see her flourish as a person and see her be a bit more, I don't know, just kind of know her worth more, I think. Definitely, is the best way to kind of put that as well. Have you had any issues with like confidence in the past? And if so, how did you grow your confidence?
Did you hear
my question?
Yeah, no, I did, thank you.
Oh, okay.
That's a really good question. I have, yes. I've definitely doubted myself. I've been like, wait, should I actually be with an agent? Like, I'm not getting anything. Because I go to a drama group, and one of my friends, she gets a lot of things, and like, I'm so proud of her, and I'm like, wait, am I doing something wrong? Like, so sometimes I'm like, wait, no, this isn't for me. But so yeah, that's been good, because Malory Towers has really made me believe, like, wait, no, like, you're doing this, girl, you're killing it, you got this. So that really made me realize that, like, yes, like, this is, you know, what you're meant to do, you're fine. Like, but I've definitely struggled with that in the past, and I've often I'm eager to please. I guess that's kind of I kind of relate to Mary Lou in that way. I'm like, wait, does she like me? Like, am I doing this wrong? Like, are you okay? Like, which obviously isn't always the best thing, but so yeah, definitely I have sometimes struggled with it, but Malory Towers has really helped me find myself, and helped me realize that, like, yeah, this is what I'm meant to do.
I mean, that's so beautiful to hear, just kind of hearing that obviously this job and this role that you're playing has obviously helped you kind of know your worth more and believe in yourself as well. But I know, like, comparing yourself to other people is like one of the biggest kind of roots of negativity. Yeah. Especially just someone maybe like online, not even like your friend, as you were saying, but like someone like online, and you kind of see what they're doing or what they're achieving, or even what they look like. Sometimes it comes to that, and it's like, well, why didn't I look like that? Or why am I not doing the same thing that they are when we're kind of the same or similar, if that makes sense? So I think a lot of people can definitely relate to what you just said as well. Comparison isn't very good, but it comes very natural to a lot of us, and it's becoming very normalized, unfortunately. So we need to change that for sure, to kind of help spread a bit more positivity. Definitely,
yeah.
On to the next question. I just saw somebody in the comments wrote the same question as well. Don't worry, I do have the question here, or my written ones for the interview. But what are your top tips for beginners in the acting industry? Where can people start and begin? Because I feel like that's such a complicated question that so many people don't really know what to answer to. So what would your advice be to kind of begin and start growing and like moving into the industry?
Okay, yeah, so if you're starting out, I'd say definitely, you know, get involved in anything you can. If that's, you know, a school production or joining a drama group, that can really help you get involved. And if you're not confident to start off with, which, you know, many people might not be, I wasn't to start, you can always, you know, involve yourself without being center stage. You can, you know, help backstage or with the set design. So there's always ways you can involve yourself without being, you know, the main character. So yeah, definitely say yes to new opportunities, get yourself an agent. I found that really helped me, you know, kickstart my acting career, because most of my auditions do come from my agent, so you can just look online for some. And if you do get an agent, remember that, you know, your time will come. Like, don't give up, because it will come. I think a month or so before I got my Malory Towers audition, my mum and I were speaking, and I was like, Mum, should I quit? Like, should I take myself off of my agent's books, because I'm not getting anything? And I'm so grateful that I stayed for that extra month, because otherwise I wouldn't, you know, be here and doing this. So just, you never know what's around the corner, so don't give up.
You never know what's around the corner. That is so powerful, especially. I mean, thank goodness you didn't just take your name off the books, because otherwise we never would have been able to see you and meet you as a person and kind of hear about who you are, and obviously have Mary Lou kind of being brought to life by yourself as well. So, I mean, that just shows that you never know what is going to happen. Like the next day, somebody could be giving up or taking their name off the books like you thought you were going to do. And maybe the next day, if they stayed on the books, they could have gotten like one of the biggest roles for an upcoming movie or something like that. You never know what's going to happen. So people need to keep in mind that everybody goes on their own pace, like their own journey.
Yeah.
So I think that's a massive thing that people always like misunderstand, especially I feel like. It's like, well, if this person is getting this like success in such a short amount of time, and I've been doing this for such a long time, and I still haven't gotten to where I am yet, why is that? And then people start to doubt themselves. And it's like, well, no, actually, you don't need to doubt yourself because of your own pace, because you will get there eventually. We just need to be very patient, even though it can be very difficult at times.
Definitely. My parents often say to me, you know, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Like, even if someone is shooting ahead, like, just remember it's fine, keep working hard, and you know you'll get there in the end. So yeah,
it's a marathon, not a sprint. That is a lovely quote. I haven't heard of that one before, so thank you for sharing that.
Welcome.
Very wise parents. That's a lovely kind of message to mention. The next question is, if you could play a role in any TV show or any film, what character would you play?
There are so many out there. I think my mind comes to Hermione Granger in Harry Potter.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, she just the character herself and Emma Watson playing her, she just absolutely killed it. So I definitely, you know, would love that would be an amazing opportunity. Obviously it's not gonna happen, but that would have been an amazing opportunity to be in. And yeah, I think that would have been amazing to be Hermione. Like, yes, girl, she's such an amazing character.
And seeing yourself obviously on screen with like this magic wand and everything like that, I would be amazed. And I was like, well,
that would be amazing.
And it's also amazing acting, because everything that's there is probably like mostly CGI. So you need to act like something's there when really you can't see it. When everybody watches the movie, when you watch the movie, you're like, oh, so now that it comes together this way, now I can see exactly what you guys are thinking of when you're putting it together. But Hermione Granger is a very powerful character,
Yeah, I mean,
very influential.
Yes, definitely. I mean, they must have learnt so many tips and tricks with, you know, the magic, and yeah, it's just amazing.
The next question, which is kind of just a random question, well, not really random, but something that I just kind of thought about just now. I saw that on your TikTok and obviously here on Instagram as well, on your Instagram account, that you were posting a lot about the Black Lives Matter movement. And I just want to thank you for using your voice and speaking up about this as well, which is amazing. Just kind of using your platform to share about this movement and to just kind of remind people that, no, this isn't a trend, this is a movement. It's not just a moment in time. So what would your advice be, or how can we support the movement, or just start to speak up for the oppressed, or just kind of like call someone out if they're being racist or they're being discriminatory?
Definitely. So I think I've kind of been shielded from it a bit for my whole life. So this was definitely not really an eye-opener, because I knew it happened, but I was like, wait, no, like I need to, you know, stand up and educate myself and actually listen, because that's the thing, like I had the choice not to be involved in it, and now I'm making the choice to be involved in it because I think it's so important. I mean, just to look at, you know, the way you're interacting with others, like in social circumstances, just to I think this movement's really important for people to recognize, you know, those racist things that they might not have realized were racist, or to really grow as a person and to read and educate yourself. I think it's really important for everyone to get behind. Yeah,
I totally agree. So again, thank you for sharing it on your platform, because so many people have just kind of been continuing posting their normal content, and it's like, well, you're posting about it like last week and all of a sudden everybody's got their justice, which is obviously not the case.
It's not a big thing.
So it's a shame. Yeah, it definitely doesn't end here, and I feel like especially amongst, they call Generation Z or Generation Z, that we can be very stubborn sometimes, which means we won't stop until we kind of get what we want.
Yeah.
And in this case, that is so powerful and is so important. So you just kind of need to keep that mentality going, and also make this a significant subject for as long as we need to, until something is going to obviously change, hopefully and eventually. But just kind of a shame that people think it's a trend, especially with the Blackout Tuesday posts. I think I saw somebody post it,
yeah.
and it was like 26 million people posted the black square on their Instagram account under the hashtag, but only 4 million people, or a certain amount of, or a smaller group of people, signed the George Floyd petition.
Yeah.
And it's like, so how come this many people can post this? They can't actually take action to sign a petition or share it to other people. So it's unfortunate sometimes, but I think the more we kind of encourage people to do it and encourage people to speak up, then eventually we'll get to that. So fingers crossed.
Definitely.
Fingers crossed we will make a change, and this will kind of become a revolution in itself.
Yeah, we can do this. We've come so far.
We can do this.
Yeah, definitely.
We believe in each other, and I think that's the most important thing. And I don't think anybody can beat us, because we're just too powerful.
We're
just too powerful. There will be a change for sure. Now we're going to go to some questions from the viewers, because they've been sending in some questions during this interview already. So the first question is from Malory _Towers _CBBC, and they said, "What is your favourite book?" Mine is Murder Most Unladylike.
Oh, I actually really enjoy reading. A few of my friends don't, and they're like, "Wait, you read?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's awesome." I actually haven't heard, well, I've heard of it, but I haven't read Murder Most Unladylike. I will put that on my list. But I've recently read Everything, which was just a beautiful book. I really recommend it, and yeah, I love that.
The next question is another question from Malory _Towers _CBBC, and they said, "How is Niagara Falls?"
Oh, we were actually, we were lucky enough to go to Niagara Falls, which was amazing. And yeah, it was just a beautiful landmark, and it was so exciting. And to do it with my best friends was just an amazing memory. So yeah, but it was very hot that day, so it was nice to be splashed with cold water. But yeah, it was amazing. Thank you.
Very refreshing.
Yeah.
The next question is from Malory Stars X, and they said, "What was your favourite scene to film?" A very nice question.
That is, yeah. Probably the scenes with all of the girls, like, all together, because it was just like a real sense of, like, you know, empowerment, and like I loved doing them all together. So, like, you know, the midnight feast scenes and the class court scene, that was really fun. I also really enjoyed the pool scenes that we filmed in Cornwall. They were amazing, and to be dunked was quite the experience. But yeah, that was really fun to do. Yeah. So I'm sorry, I can't pick one. I'm sorry. There's so many.
Can't pick one. It is absolutely fine. The next question is from another fan page, Malory Cuties, and they said, "If you weren't an actor, then what would you be?"
Ooh.
What job do you think you would have?
Oh, okay. So I really enjoy writing. So maybe something to do with that. Maybe a journalist, possibly. I haven't really done much of it, but I'm really interested in, like, psychology and, like, how people's minds work and stuff. So that would be really cool to go in. I don't know if you've heard of the show The Secret Life of 5-Year-Olds.
I have heard of it, you know. I think I watched it when I was a bit younger.
Yeah. So that really interests me. So that would be really cool to do. So yeah.
Work with kids and kind of see how their mind works.
Yeah. It sounds a bit creepy. Yeah.
Slightly. The next question is from, I don't really know how to pronounce this username, but it's Equestrian Hattie, and they said, "If you could be any animal in the world, what would you be and why?"
Ooh, I mean, I have 2 dogs, so I think they lead a really happy life. So, I mean, that seems like a great animal to be. They always, look on the bright side and live in the moment. So that would be really fun to be. Or I think maybe like a dolphin or a whale. They just seem so interesting and cool. So, yeah.
Dolphins are my favourite animal, apart from like dogs and cats. I mean, I have a cat. I would love to have a dog, but my mum was like, no, absolutely not. When we travel, who's going to look after the dog? Whereas my cat, she can just like, she's not even bothered basically. Like she'll come back, she'll give us a little snuggle, and then she'll just kind of be back to her normal kind of feisty self.
Yeah.
But maybe when I'm older, I'll be able to kind of have a dog and just kind of feel what it's like to have that nice companion. But I just love animals in general.
Yes, I know, me
just
too.
The ones that are nice and fluffy, super adorable.
I know.
The next question is from Sophia Benitez 50, and Sophia said, how did you film the pool scenes?
Okay, so we would go in our trailers, get all in our gear. Sometimes we'd have waterproof leggings, which really helped us to keep warm, because I'm not gonna lie, it was quite cold in there. Then we take a minibus down to the beach and get out, go put our mics on if we needed mics. And I mean, it was weird because they kind of had to prop up the cameras on like rocks and stuff, which was really cool. But and they had to be quite careful of how cold we got. But there were always like people keeping us safe and warm, and we had these big dry robes which kept us warm afterwards. So they were really fun to film and nothing I'd ever experienced before.
The next question that somebody has sent in is from Holly.Richel, and Holly said, I want to find an agency because I want to be an actress. Any advice?
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's really good I'd really recommend getting an agent so you're on the right lines. So look online for some. That's really good. I think Dania mentioned there was a magazine that you can look for stuff in, which is really helpful. There's some really great ones online, and then just to get to know, the audition processes, what sort of things you put in a self-tape. So just get used to kind of that rhythm of acting, because it's definitely a new experience if you've never done it before. So yeah.
And also, one thing to add: make sure the agency is legit.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't have to pay to sign up, because then they're just there. Like, it's probably just like a scam. They probably just want your money, and it's not even legitimate. So there won't be any kind of putting your name on their book, because the book is non-existent, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Just make sure it's legitimate and that you're not kind of spending your time out or filming something. Like if they give you a self-tape, which possibly could be fake, and you're sending over this company different self-tapes or things like that obviously isn't going to get anywhere, then just make sure it's legitimate. Do your research on it, which I think is extremely important as well.
Definitely.
Don't kind of get your hopes up for something that could be fake, unfortunately. The next question is from one of your fan pages, and it is from immy.land.fans, and they said, what did you do when you weren't filming?
Okay, so it kind of depended. When we just got off set, or we were just going on set, we kind of hung around just off the set, kind of in chairs. There was crafts which kept us, full, which was good. Or we'd like go through lines. But if we were off set for a long period of time, we'd go back to our dressing rooms, maybe play cards or change costumes. Or another thing that we had to do when we were missing school is we had to do tutoring, which was a bit of a pain. I mean, with juggling tutoring and filming was definitely a new experience for me, and it was hard work, but we got it in. So yeah, either hang around with the girls or tutoring.
I mean, education is still very important, but I know that if I was on set for something, I'd be like, oh yeah, school, but then they kind of go, oh well, yes, you do still need to do school, which I think some people may kind of not understand straight away. Like, oh, if I want to be an actor, then or an actress, I want to have the job during my school so that I don't need to do it. And it's like, well, actually, you still are going to have a tutor or somebody who's going to be doing the schoolwork with you on set, so people just need to keep that in mind.
Definitely.
And if you're still passionate about acting and you're still going to take those sacrifices, and that means you're truly passionate about it, and that this is something that you want to do, obviously, and you want to pursue and achieve. The next question is from motivational_mooks, and they said, how long did it take to film one scene or a scene?
I mean, as you can expect, it really depended on the scene. From the pool scenes where it only took, a cup of tea to get too cold, so I'd say maybe in front of the camera.
Oh, you're okay.
But then scenes, I mean, it could really depend from like 10 minutes to an hour. I mean, like, first of all, you had to get your lines right, and make sure, they didn't want you to say it a different way. And then they had to switch the camera angle, so you had to do it all over again, which was great. But yeah, it did sometimes take a long time. So yeah. Sorry, I couldn't answer it directly, but it really did depend on...
Oh, no, it's okay. Patience is key. Patience is key. The next question is from... is from... from Malory Cuties again. Oh, are you here? Oh, you're okay.
My phone is running out of battery, so that might be why it's
I can't hear you. Oh, okay. It's okay. Oh, I hope it works. Give me a favour. Oh no. Oh, okay. I'm gonna give it 2 minutes. And then I'm gonna bring her back on to the interview because I don't know if her battery died. Devices. Okay. Fingers crossed, guys. And by the way, if I do miss out your question, I do apologise. This interview will be up on my IGTV later on, so you can rewatch it if you're tuning in now, or you didn't tune in from the exact beginning, from when Imogen was asking the questions. Okay, let's try one more time, and then we can answer a few more questions, and then we can finish this interview off.
Hi.
Oh, you're back. So you're back. It's okay.
It just froze.
It's okay. No worries. What matters is that you logged back in.
Yeah.
That's what matters.
Yeah.
No giving up. So the next question is from Malory Cuties, and they said, do you watch Friends? And if so, who's your favourite character?
Oh, I don't actually, which is like really surprising to some of my friends. I think I've probably watched 1 or 2. But no, I definitely want to get into it because lots of my friends rave about it all the time. So yeah.
I mean, a lot of people are like, oh yeah, Friends are so overrated, and I'm like, well, if it's funny, it's funny. If it makes you laugh, if it puts a smile on your face, then you don't really need to talk about, oh yeah, it's overrated, underrated, whatever it is. Yeah, just like, enjoy the show.
Yeah, I agree.
The next question is from Sophie WS.X, and they said, did you know anyone from the cast before Malory Towers?
I didn't actually. I know that Saskia and Dania actually go to the same school, which is such a coincidence. So they knew each other, but no, I didn't. We did have a read through before we went off, which really helped to, get to know everyone and, get the feel of it. But no, I didn't.
The next question is is from Lara_205714, and Lara said, if you could be any character on Malory Towers, who would you be and why?
Oh, I mean, I guess if I did it again, I'd probably give Gwen a go. I just think she's the complete opposite of Mary Lou. So that would be really fun to kind of explore her. And also I think she's got a bit of a deeper, past, a deeper, feeling to her. So that would be really fun to kind of delve into. But yeah, I love Mary Lou, but yeah.
I mean, Gwendolyn is a very interesting character. Dania plays her amazingly.
Oh my goodness.
But I mean, sometimes in the episodes when I was watching the show with my mum, like we were just both kind of like, you could just kind of feel your blood boiling a little bit at different points. But hopefully she can kind of become a better person and maybe be understood by someone, one of the girls. The final question is from Malory_Towers_fan_Cecily, and they said, what was your favourite thing about being in Malory Towers? And they're also saying, can you reply back to my DM?
Oh, sure. I try to reply to everyone I can.
Reply back to everyone.
After I go off this live. My favourite thing, it was just the most amazing experience. But I think my favourite thing was making 8 new best friends and being able to live and work and play together. That was just amazing, and they inspire me so much. And to just do, what I love with people who also love what they're doing was just amazing. So yeah.
I mean, that's lovely to hear. And I'm sorry if anybody else sent in some questions that you really wanted to get answered. But when this interview is up on my IGTV later, you can comment your question if you still want it to be answered. And then either if it's for me or if it's for Imogen, hopefully we can reply back to and we can still see your question if it didn't get answered in this interview. So apologies if it didn't get answered, but there were so many. So thank you all who did send them in and who were, all the questions that you sent in that were selected. But unfortunately, it's coming to the end of this interview. But before we do leave, Imogen, where can we find you on social media? And where can we also watch Malory Towers for those who are interested in watching the show?
Yes, so my Instagram username is just Imogen Lamb _. I also have TikTok, which is just imi.lamb. There might be a YouTube channel coming, but I'm not sure. I'll keep you updated.
We'll see.
And Malory Towers is actually finished now on every week, but you can find it on BBC iPlayer if you've missed it.
Well, thank you so much for being my guest. You were amazing. Thank you so much for sharing all your kind of motivation to everyone as well. I hope that everybody else enjoyed it just as much as I did speaking to you. But again, thank you for being here today, and I'll speak to you soon.
Yes, thank you for anyone who asked questions, and thank you for having me. I hope you're all staying safe and keeping positive in lockdown. And yeah, bye. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Bye.
Bye.
So now to the end of this interview. I hope you all did enjoy it. Make sure to go and follow Imogen on her Instagram and her TikTok as well. She posts some great content. And if you didn't get a chance to watch Malory Towers on CBBC, if you do happen to have BBC iPlayer, you can binge watch all the episodes on there. Otherwise, thank you for tuning in today. Wishing you all the best of love and safety during this time. And as we did say previously in this interview, make sure to carry on using your voice and raise awareness of the Black Lives Matter movement, as not only has Imogen been talking about it a lot, but also I've been very predominant and talking about it on my platform a lot as well. So make sure you can do your best to kind of speak up about this. And without further ado, I'll be seeing you all on my next interview. Bye.